Okay, so four stocks in which are currently breaking out, and these are ZSCALER, we have Rocket Labs, we have Microsoft and Meta. There are many more, but these are currently the stocks in which are topping off my list. We do have AMD, but I've done many videos on AMD and why it could be a potential breakout. But it currently actually looks to be as if it might be setting up for this, but we're not going to be talking about AMD in this video. If you are interested in AMD, then we will get onto that. So essentially, this goes over what could potentially be breaking out, and then we do a deep analysis into these stocks. Well, not too deep, but we do a deep enough analysis to warrant a buy-in if there is enough momentum. So let's start off with ZSCALER. So who are ZSCALER? Well, they are a cybersecurity firm with a market cap of approximately $30 billion with their ticker being ZS. So why is this stock breaking out? Well, they are a zero trust leader, pioneering the shift to zero trust architecture, vital in a world growing of growing cyber threats. So there's definitely a place for this company. They have a very strong revenue growth, with Q3 of fiscal year 25 revenue of $553 million, up 32% year over year. Obviously that was Q3 of last year. So they have a massive TAM, which is total addressable market, and the government and enterprise are basically giving this company lots of contracts as well, which is going to be huge for their consistent revenue. Furthermore, they have AI integration, but we don't care about that. Every company has AI integration at this point, but they do obviously have risks, such as the valuation is still relatively high relative to their earnings. They have heavy competition from companies like I'm saying this all wrong. They have heavy competition from companies such as CrowdStrike, and they are sensitive to macro pullbacks in IT spending. So could they potentially be a good buy? Well, let's not move that. So looking here on the 5-minute chart for ZSCALER, currently they are definitely in a bit of a downtrend, but we don't really care about that. Let's zoom out to a 1-day chart. So currently here we can see there is many fair value gaps opening up underneath ZSCALER, indicating that there is a lot of momentum behind them, which is obvious. They are in a long position on the MACD indicator, and if we do actually look to see what the price targets are, we can see that there is an average of, when I can zoom out or zoom in, we can see the average is actually bang on where the price currently is, and there is a high of a potential 18% upside from here. So there might not actually be much of a play left within this stock. I have marked out a key level of resistance here of $325 when the current price is at $304, and I think it's fair to say that we can probably expect this stock to slightly fall down from these positions, or from these levels within the next coming days. So looking at the exponential moving average for this company, they are above all of them. So let's take this back to the parameter set here and really see if there is a potential level in which we could buy into this. Is the stock undervalued? Well, I haven't actually done my own analysis, so I'm going to not put an X because that's a bit unfair. I'm going to put a line. Is it in a bullish MACD crossover? Yes. Is it trading above the 50-day EMA? Yes. The 200-day? Yes. Do analysts rank it undervalued? Well, not really, but I will just put a line. Is there a confirmed bullish breakout? Yes. However, despite all of this, I would actually not really recommend buying into a position within this stock, just because I think there will definitely be a retracement here. I don't expect that we will see this climb up massively from this exact point, but I do think it will definitely climb up at some point. I expect it to come down to this fair value gap, and then from there it could definitely go up. That was not the right arrow at all. Just imagine this is the same arrow. I expect it to go probably up to this level of resistance from here, but that's really not much of a gain, so it's not really worth the risk when you do actually price in the potential risk to reward. That from here is only a 6% gain, and from there is a 10%, so it's slightly worth it, but I wouldn't be buying in personally. So now we're going to be looking at Rocket Lab, which is obviously breaking out. So why are we watching this stock? Well, it has a market cap of $2 billion, which is obviously massive. It's previously beat expectations with it being up 32% year over year. It is still not positive on their net income, so it's ideally something in which you would like to see for a level of support within the stock and its sustainability, but it doesn't have that, unfortunately. So there is an element of risk. It has $430 million in cash reserves, which is incredible, to be fair. And for the risks, they're obviously still unprofitable, which is due to heavy R&D, of course, because it is a relatively new aerospace company. Tough competition like SpaceX and high volatility. So why are we looking at the stock? Well, it's definitely breaking out. Looking on a day chart here, we can see that the fair value gaps are definitely on the side of this stock. And if we do look on my MACD, this is obviously in a long position as well. If we do look at the EMAs, we're above all of them as well. So again, there just doesn't look to be too much stopping this right now, apart from this level of resistance at $31. But if it does manage to break through these, then it will be at an all-time high. And from there, this stock could just explode. So this company is projected to grow at 127% over the next 12 months. So there is obviously that going for it. It most likely will break revenue, and it is not revenue, sorry, it will break into profit, and there is expectations that it will break in 2026. So that it does definitely have that going for it. And on a forward PE, we can see that this company obviously doesn't have one. I don't know why I even bothered looking, because it's obviously not in profit. So it's fair to say this looks to have a lot of momentum. I think investors are definitely pricing in a lot going forward. But if you do look at the analysts' recommendations, then this stock looks to be relatively fairly to coming up to overvalued now. So will it have the momentum once it breaks this level? Potentially not. So looking at the parameter set here, is it a fair buy at these levels? Well, if we go off undervalued, I don't have a valuation for this again, so I can't give my opinion. Is it on a bullish crossover? Yes. Above the 50? Yes. Above the 200? Yes. Do analysts rank it undervalued? Well, again, similar to the first stock, not really. Is there a confirmed breakout? Yes. So I think there is still a chance. Is very similar to the first stock of ZSCALER in the sense that it looks to have a bit more in it, but how much is really hard to say. But the differences here is this will be breaking its all-time highs if it does manage to push through this, and that could just lead to this stock to jump up massively, and it could definitely be a good momentum play. So now moving on to some stocks in which have a lot more sustainability under them, we're going to be looking at Microsoft. So they have a market cap obviously currently at 3.1 trillion, which is absolutely huge. They have their latest earnings coming in at a 17% year-over-year growth, which beat expectations, and an earnings per share of $2.94. So this company is doing incredibly well, but there is obviously risks still embedded within Microsoft, such as regulatory pressures, especially around AI and antitrust. Slower PC market and consumer software demand is now the majority of people have their PCs. They're not buying new PCs. So there is definitely that slowing down and high expectations baked into their valuations. So having a look at Microsoft on a chart, what can we really see? Well, again, it's similar. Obviously, it's got a lot of momentum currently, and it is now well above its previous all-time high here at approximately 466, and it's just pushing straight past this. So if we do actually look at the fair value gap here on the day chart, these are all on the day chart obviously, we can see that it is now just touching this fair value gap. So we could actually expect Microsoft to continue to climb up from here. I think especially if this day today, which is Monday the 9th of June, if it closes above the level of, or we even within the level of 468 to 466, then this stock could still just continue to climb just based off of its momentum. If we do look on a MACD, it's obviously in a long position. It's obviously above the 250-day EMA. We really don't need to look at that. And support levels indicate there is a support here at $462. So there is a lot going for Microsoft at the moment. And similar to the other stocks, it has this. Well, the difference is this has now broken all-time highs, so this could really just ramp up from here. But what do the price targets actually indicate? Well, from here, there's a potential 8% upside on the mean, and on the max, there's a near 40% upside. And for a company as big as Microsoft, it's fair to say it's almost a bit of a no-brainer. Microsoft is actually one of the most boring companies in the world. It's just done the same thing forever and ever, but it does it really, really well. Obviously, it's now doing quantum and AI, so it is more so future-proof than it was before, so it definitely has that going for it. It's currently at a price to earnings of near, 36.5, so again, it just looks to be in an incredible position to be buying into. So briefly now going over the parameter set, I have Microsoft to be undervalued, bullish MACD. It's above the 50-day and above the 200-day. Analyst rank it undervalued, and it is in a definite bullish momentum currently on a breakout, so it's definitely something in which I could expect to go up. How far would I expect it to go? Well, I couldn't exactly tell you because I can't predict the future, I'm afraid, and I'm aware that's probably not why you've come to this channel, but I do expect it to go to around the level of 516, but that is a complete guess, I'll be perfectly honest. So an amazing company to be buying into, Microsoft, but now let's move on to Meta. So I'm sure you don't need much of an introduction to Meta. Obviously, it's the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. It has a market cap of 1.46 trillion, and it is consistently beating its estimates, with it being up 16% year over year, and the earnings per share is up 37% with operating margins of 41%, which is absolutely huge. I mean, it's obviously why, because it's primarily earning money from advertisements, and now they're partnering with Ray-Bans to make their own little glasses, and they're doing loads of cute little inventions which probably won't go anywhere for a few years because the technology isn't there. But forgetting that, let's move on to this analysis. But there is, of course, risks embedded within Meta. I don't want to be biased here. I'm going to give you the pros and the cons. So there is currently content moderation automation under scrutiny. Oh my God, I can't say the word scrutiny. I still said it wrong, but I'm going to run with it anyway. Basically, Meta has been looked into for how they review people's content, and there is definitely something which could be a negative or have a negative impact around that. There was recently court trials with Meta looking into potential monopoly on markets, such as with Instagram. When they bought Instagram, that was almost deemed to be an unfair advantage, having Facebook and Instagram. They have competitive disruption in advertising and regulatory and social controversies such as fact-checking, hate speech, and antitrust. So forgetting that, because that's all the boring stuff. We want to make money, right? That's the wrong ticker. So post edit me, just quickly going back over this because I said fair value VAP instead of fair value gap, so I'm going to redo this bit, even though I'm telling you now anyway. So Meta is currently on their way up to their recent all-time high in general, with this being at $736 and the current price being at $694. It's fair to say that there is a potential that this could go above this, but it looks to be as if this is going to be a very harsh level of resistance for them. The price targets aren't that favourable for this stock, with the average coming in where we currently are approximately, which is actually now below where we are, and there is a maximum of a 31% upside, which I really kind of struggle to see, but it's not massively unheard of. With Meta currently being at a PE of 27, it's fair to say they look to be massively undervalued with a forward PE of, well, still 27. So actually it indicates that the growth for this company isn't as much as we would like to see. As we can see here, it's only 11.8 with over the next 12 months, which is still very good when you consider their margins, but it could be better for the PE potentially. That's still quite a high PE, but relative to current markets, it actually looks relatively fair. I've said relatively way too many times here, but if we do actually look at the MACD indicator, we will see that this stock looks to be in a long position, but that's obvious. And if we do look at its levels of support on the Fibonacci indicator here, the next level of support is all the way down at 648. So there is quite a big downside here. And of course, this stock is well above all of its EMAs from 20 to 200, so it's got a lot going for it on this side of momentum right now. I think its next challenge will be pushing past its all-time high. So is it undervalued? Well, according to me, yes. Is it on a MACD bullish crossover? Yes. 50-day EMA? Yes. 200-day EMA? Yes. Do the analysts rank it undervalued? Well, I'm going to say no, because on the average now, they don't look to be undervalued. Is it in a current breakout confirmation? Yes. So this could also be a great stock to be momentum trading. It's something which could definitely break past its level of resistance, but I think it will definitely struggle. But if it does, again, it could go parabolic. Is it as good as Microsoft? Probably not, to be honest. When looking at the two, Microsoft has a lot more going for it in the sense of it actually has a positive price target, so there's actually something for the stock to aim for. Meta looks to be as if it's probably met its the end of the hype around the price now, but there could still be a massive upside from here if momentum just carries through alone. So where would I actually rank these stocks? Well, I do need to make it very clear I'm not a financial advisor. This is definitely not financial advice. This is just my own personal opinion. You should always do your own research before buying into these stocks. But in my opinion, Microsoft definitely gets number one for sustainability reasons, and the price targets look to be still positive. Meta gets number two. It's still massively, it still has a lot of momentum under it, especially with these fair value VAPs and the MACD pushing it further up, and of course their EMAs. Rocket Lab will get a number three, and ZSCALER will get a number four, just because these two stocks don't look to be as sustainable. But I do think both of them could definitely still push very, very far within their momentum. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and found it somewhat useful. If you have, please do consider hitting a like and subscribe, because these videos are completely free. It would be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, I will see you for the next one.